Alright, I'm gonna give a quick tour of my airplane here, walk around, and then a quick demonstration of what it takes to get going. In the interest of time, I've already pre-flighted it and warmed it up. So that is my 1945 Piper J3 Cub. It's on a set of Edo 1320 floats, weighs about 1,000 pounds give or take. I've got it set up with a roll and go 4200 series pontoon lift. It's called a marine railway system, so it's a railway track and then a cart that rolls down with a winch. My tie downs are 4 feet deep, pretty good anchors. They held up in a giant windstorm that took down 5 of these giant fir trees, and the airplane was just fine. The camera setup I mostly use Flight Flicks mounts. I always try to have at least 2 mounts, comply with all of the temporary mounting rules. The carbon fiber tube is from Dragon Plate, and then the cage at the end is Small Rig. You should always use a cage if you're mounting a camera off the outside of the airplane. The cameras are Insta360 X3s. Good camera. They've got an X4 and an X5 now, so I'll probably upgrade at some point. I've already done the walk around, but I'll just give you a quick walk around of the airplane here. This is my third J3 Cub. The first one was a clip-wing Cub that had 80 hours since restoration. It's a showpiece. It was a wonderful airplane. And the second one was a J3 that only had, I think it had 307 hours total time when I bought it at 39. And again, it was a showpiece. It was amazing. When I went to buy this airplane, I almost backed out of the deal because it wasn't as nice. It's a good airplane, good solid airplane, but the finish wasn't as nice as my previous two. And I'm glad I didn't, because it's a great flying airplane. It's a great airplane. And I probably wouldn't put it outside on floats like this if it had been a showpiece. So it works out perfectly for me. And I actually really like the patina on the Piper Cub there. It's pretty cool. That's Harry. All right. The only thing I haven't done on the pre-flight so far is to pump out this last compartment on the float. So I left one undone so I could demonstrate it. Right, so the pump outs just have this little reed valve. I don't need to pull the plug out. There's always a little bit of water in every compartment, but you want to make sure you're sucking air. You don't have excessive water. I tried filming this yesterday, and I had to do so many takes and filmed it in so many clips that editing was a nightmare. I'm going to try to just do this all in one take. So here's the inside of the airplane. It's a 2-seat tandem. The front seat is the passenger seat, although there are full dual controls. The rear seat is the pilot station, and then it's got this little baggage compartment back here. I keep the pump in there, the spare life jacket, and a paddle, collapsible paddle, some other miscellaneous things. As far as instrumentation, well, let's go through controls. The only thing this airplane has that it doesn't need is this handheld radio, and then it's got an antenna up top that's been added. Other than that, a J3 Cub is a perfect example of the minimum equipment needed in an airplane. It has no electrical system, no battery, no starter, no generator. Here's the magneto switch. The magnetos don't require a battery or an alternator. They just self-generate electricity. 2 throttles, full dual control, 2 sticks for aileron and elevator, and then 2 sets of pedals, rudder pedals. The brakes are inoperative right now because it's on floats. Instrumentation, we've got a tachometer, airspeed indicator, compass, altimeter, oil temperature, and oil pressure. That's the primer. And then we've got a carburetor heat control here, and elevator trim over here. The fuel gauge is that little stick that's bobbing up there. Pull that out and show you how it works. It's the most reliable fuel gauge of any airplane I've ever flown. It's just a cork that floats on top of the gas. So if the tank is full, this will be up here like this. And if the tank is empty, it'll be down here like this. So we've got about 4 or 5 gallons, which is more than enough. We're just going to do one lap around the pattern. The engine's an 85 horse Continental, and it's got a Sensenich AK-76 prop, which is a great prop for a seaplane. All right, it's all warmed up and ready to go. That flow compartment was pumped out. That was the last thing, so no prime required. All I need to do is turn on the mags and prop it, and it'll go. So I'm going to set the throttle, just barely cracked. Go to mags on, and again, it's already warmed up. Full pressure. I'm going to climb it. All right, one of the nice things about the roll and go lift is that it comes with a winch that is Bluetooth remote control. So all I have to do is push a button and it'll lower me down into the water. The wind's out of the north today, which is nice. I have plenty of lake. I can just turn and take off. Engine's already warmed up. I did the mag check and ran it up to 1500 RPM while it was up on land, so that's already done. Mixture's rich, fuel valve is open, carburetor heat is on. I take off with the carburetor heat on because it's a seaplane and it's prone to carburetor icing. These little Continentals are always prone to carburetor icing, but especially when they're this close to the water in a humid environment. So in addition to showing you the lift and the airplane, I guess the purpose of the flight today is to just talk about what I'm up to. I've been making all these videos, and there is actually a method to the madness. It's not me just being narcissistic or vain. I'm trying to build a little bit of a following and an audience, and then be partnering with one of my greatest mentors in aviation, Michael Church, who was my first boss out of college. He owns a flight school called Sunrise Aviation in Southern California. I worked there for about 7 years total. And then later, I actually opened a competing business next door. And he forgave me, and we're still friends, so that business is long gone. But Michael and I are great friends. I've never had a better mentor. And as I have been blessed by aviation, I feel the need to give back somehow. And the way I think I can reach people best is through social media and making these videos. So I'll be teaming up with Michael Church, and we'll be starting some sort of a podcast or blog or something soon. We aren't quite sure what we're going to do, but this is just to get that whole process started. Now that it's buoyant and it's moving, I'm going to drop the water rudder. That'll give me steerage. Move my lift back up into position. I have to move it back up a little bit to come back in when this is over. Alright, the lift is high enough. I'll take care of that later. I might try to move it back up when I get back from flying. So the seatbelt is off, and the headset is off when you launch a flow plane, just in case you need to quickly exit the airplane. Most accidents of flow planes occur around the dock.
So the mixture is rich, fuel valve is open, trim is set, carburetor heat's on, which is what I want. Area is clear, water rudder's coming up. I'm just going to do one quick lap around the lake. Here we go, sticks all the way back. Full power. The nose rises once, it rises a little more, that's when it's time to go forward and get on the step. Holding the lowest drag attitude, right about there, a little pitch. You can get away with a little bit of a rotation with our Hito 1320s. Some floats you can't. Accelerate close to ground effect, and then climb. You could do a tight pattern, so this isn't a long video. So we'll be starting these videos up with Michael Church, my mentor. I just want to give back to aviation. The videos I've made so far are inspiring. I've tried making some educational videos as well. Trying to shift it back over, or more over into the education side versus the inspiration side, but they're both valuable. And if people just watch for entertainment, that's cool too. I'm going to land short, get a nice headwind. I want to land short so that I can have the best chance of getting into my dock. I need to reposition my lift anyways. Carburetor heat's on. Water rudder's up. Fuel valve's on. There's a boat right where I want to be. Alright, I'll stay a little high for the boat. Make this one touch and go. By the time I get back around, that boat will be repositioned, and I'll be able to land where I actually want to land, hopefully. Yeah, he's moving. So I'll be able to land where I want to land now. And that way I can reposition my my lift for the coming back in. Carburetor's on. Fuel valve is on. Trim's nose up. Mixture's rich. For the wind noise, just had to do a little slip there. Gonna land short, so it'll be a little firmer than normal. Okay, see if I can get in water rudder. Sorry, not water rudder. Get in Bluetooth range. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, seatbelts off, headset off.
Alright, so now to get back in here, let's line it up with that railway. Got good water rudder steerage, mags off. And I'll look out the window the last second here just to make my right pontoon go right up that plank. Okay, it's a 7.5 degree slope. I read an advisory circular or something from the FAA that talked about the ideal slope for a float plane ramp was 7.5 degrees, anywhere between 5 and 10. I set mine at 7.5 and it works excellent. The top of the float is skinned with UHMW plastic, so it won't damage the floats, and it slides up nicely. Water rudder's up, mags off. I'm going to turn the fuel valve off too. I'm ready to spin it around, bring it back in backwards, and I'll winch it back up, and then it will be ready for the next launch. While the water is cold, I wear these hip waders. When it warms up in the summer, I typically just wear shorts and water shoes. You don't have to get it real exact at this point because the airplane's so light it's easy to move around as needed once I'm up on land. Try to make the video as short as I can here. It's kind of a different format. I'm not used to being outside by myself with nobody else around talking to myself. I have to admit it's pretty difficult to do. My first attempt at this was an absolute disaster. I was trying to edit it last night and I was way too embarrassed to publish it, so hopefully this one is a little better. It feels like it's going better so far. So let's see, what else can I tell you? The Roll and Go 4200 series, modified by me. I got a couple of scaffolding planks that painters use from a local distributor. They're about, I think they're 12 feet long. And then I just built some risers that modified the angle so the airplane sat flat up on the land. And it was just pretty simple stuff. A chop saw, some aluminum from a local supplier. And I mounted those decks on there, skinned them with some UHMW plastic I got from a local distributor. And then I put these bolt-on chocks on the front and the back. I think that's a really good addition. I can do my engine run up, and if it slides forward, it hits those chocks, and there's no chance that it's going to try to jump off the end. And then when I'm coming back in, if I had too much speed, like in a wind, I'll have to carry more speed for rudder steerage. Those chocks keep me from running off the end of it again, coming in towards the end. So, Roll and Go 4200, can't say enough good stuff about them. Flight Flicks, camera mounts, can't say enough good stuff about them. They've been awesome. And 7.5 degrees once it's in the water. That's a great angle. So that is what I can share about what I've been up to, why I'm making these videos. And I'm out.